not a small feat, especially when you have a lot of new music, because you know, when you're playing an hour and a half set, it's easy to sort of inject 1 or 2 new tracks, you know, each week, you know, to change it up a bit. A trance breakdown sounds great after 3 or 4 techno tracks versus after 3 or 4 trance breakdowns. So for me, it just that same just doesn't sound right. One of the benefits that I had that I think a lot of the young producers touring now don't have is I had a residency. It was just me for 8 hours every week, and the only variable each week was the music. You notice the difference between producers who haven't been DJs and producers who have, and you can tell, you know, when you've worked with a dance floor for years, you know when you go in the studio what works, what doesn't. And I find now a lot of the young producers are making great stuff, but like they don't have intros that DJs can use, and because they don't understand that. You almost need a DJ who understands the dance floor to go in the studio with some of these guys and really, you know, show them the best way to make it for the dance floor. This was a track where I was like, I'm gonna make something for me that no one else is probably gonna like, but I want something dark and weird for my sets. It's been probably my biggest record in a few years, which is funny when you make something for yourself with no regard for the charts. It does better than when you try to make things to fit the chart. I heard a track of his called Naked, and it was the sound I was looking for. And I messaged him on Facebook, I'm like, who are you and when can we work together? I said, well, come work with us at Rebrand. And then, you know, I played his stuff for Armin and for Armada, and they loved it too. And now, you know, he's done remixes for all the big guys. We work over Dropbox over the internet, 'cause he's in South Africa and I'm in Amsterdam. So the internet makes it so easy for us to be able to work together. Him in the studio it's so easy for him. You know, he bangs tracks out like it's nothing. He's really, really good. Something like that has to be planned. And I laid out the tracks the way I thought it should work. Nate was away, and then Nate came in and said, okay, we're going to change this, we're going to change this. And I was like, that makes perfect sense. You can't sort of freestyle a set that short. Has to be choreographed. It has to be sort of planned out. Especially with such a big broadcast, because you don't want to run out of time, be thinking, oh, what should we play next? We weren't expecting the reaction that we got. It's funny because Mexico were a little upset when the DJs were announced, because they wanted like Orion Nilsson and they wanted some other people, and after we played, no one was talking about that anymore. January 17th, and it has 2 new songs of mine. It's a single CD. It comes out January 17th, and then we're going to be doing a North American tour the end of January, February, and March. I think my problem was being almost too diverse. I didn't really decide on one thing and focus on it. Trying to look at what was successful and what wasn't, rather than just following my heart. And I think you have to just be original, do your own thing, and find a crowd that will follow it. I have to go. I'm on the decks in 10 minutes. But thank you so much for having me. Well, the growth has been crazy with Cycles Radio, so I can't complain.
Thank you for the opportunity.
There you go, I'll give you that. Thank you guys. Thank you.